Welcome in. Today we have William, my so-called life, Jess, so blessed by Jess, awkward quilter GA Lisa, Deb S, the pug mama quilter Deb. And I pinned William to Jess's link at the top of the chat. So if you want to subscribe to them and check them out, feel free.
Yay, thank you.
I'm just going to say a quick hello to everyone, and then everybody can just do whatever they want. Oh, wait, I can't see it. And I have my glasses on. Hi, Denise Fiegel. Giovanna, hello. Barry, hello. Donna Dixon, welcome in. Let's see. Joyce, hello. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Elaine. I cannot say. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Shalom. Welcome in. Hi, guess who? Nancy. Melanie Taylor. Dawn Stewart. Hi, Sherry. Hi, So Terry. Hi, Irish Sail Lady. Jim Pollock. I think I'm all caught up. Let me just double check here. Hi, Bud Files. All right, now Nightbot's saying its thing. Hi, Brenda Foley. Hi, Sheila. My goodness. Hi, Gladys. Hi, Christina Stromberg.
Yay.
Hi, Joydy. Okay, It popped up. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Welcome in, everyone.
Hello.
Yes.
There's 41 in here so far.
Yay.
The announcer voice is back.
William and Jess, you want to talk about your channels and tell everyone about yourselves, or?
Go ahead, boss.
Why don't you go first, Twitty? You make twin. It's always beauty before age.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so blessed by Jess, and my channel is just all about, like, I just love quilting, love piecing, love just the craft of it, and so I just make videos to help teach people how to sew or how to quilt and things like that. That's pretty much what I do on that channel. So. Well, I mean, yeah. Anywho, but yeah. It's good. I really enjoy it. I've only been doing it for a little over a year, so I'm still a newbie at all of this. I got a lot to learn.
And you do a great job. Beautiful blogs, beautiful piecing.
Thank you. And on Sunday nights I go live, so those are the only days that I go live on my channel. So
Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boss.
He's got his glasses on.
Come on, old man. Let's go ahead.
And my name is William. I go by my so-called life, and I have fun. I do everything. I sew, I collect sewing machines, and I live my life as loud as possible. Right now, I'm on the quest for the perfect vest. I'm in my tweed era. I'm sitting in a room with hundreds of sewing machines. I'll never admit how many I have. But if you need a touch and sew, I'm your guy. I am your guy.
You are also the surgery graveyard. So these surgeons go to die.
Yes,
it is Pet Cemetery. It is Pet Cemetery in here. I put them in the ground and they come back.
They just multiply.
Where's my?
I do everything. I don't even know. You know, I wasn't ready for that question. I do a little bit of everything.
You do. And it's a fun channel if you are awake very, very late, like so many of you are. It's a good time.
9 o'clock on Sunday. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm usually awake or heading there.
And he's starting to quilt.
Well, it's because of where I live. I live in the Solomon Islands. So I'm the last time zone on Earth. I'm
Oh.
kidding. I live on the West Coast, so I am the second to last time zone on Earth. Or third.
Dawn says a touch and sew was her first machine. Still works great.
I love those
Touch and
machines.
sew.
You know, there's certain machines that are utterly and completely hated online, like the Singer Heavy Duty, which I know is not heavy duty, but the touch and sew, they call it the touch and throw. I didn't hear any of this until I was on like number 25. And then it became a challenge after that. But if you ever wonder why they're selling something for $5, a full sewing machine for a working sewing machine for $5.
Sheila said, my whole schedule is messed up from staying up to watch William.
Thank you. And I thank you, Sheila. And I thank you.
Sheila, thank you for joining me. Yes.
Well, I tried to go to bed early so I could be all astute and, you know, and present today. Present.
Hiya, Patty.
Oh, but I did buy this today, and I know what I'm going to do with this.
Oh, I like that green.
So, in the original Star Trek, Captain Kirk's uniform couldn't get picked up by the camera, so they switched it to a green uniform. And so, the second I saw this, I'm going to make another Captain Kirk uniform.
Cool.
Well, I have to have all of them, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll be fun.
I'm trying to add color to my wardrobe, and who doesn't want to walk around like looking like Captain Kirk?
Hi, Jordy.
I was gonna say a big old bush bean, but
Hi,
Hey,
sewing machine collector.
I'm in my Captain Kirk era right now.
Is that you, William? Are you sewing machine collector?
No.
Oh, well, sewing machine collector is here. Welcome in. He said, did someone say they collect sewing machines?
I do. I have hundreds. The real number, I'll never know.
not until we take official inventory.
So, William, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're on your live, you're cleaning up, but I see it from actually as moving from one space to another. It's like move it from here, fold it up, and put it just in the next space. Does it ever get clean? Do you actually ever get it organized? Because you've got a lot in there.
Well, clean is one of those relative questions because this room was back to its glory, and in 2024 I said I'm going to stop buying tables. I purchased like four tables, which are literally this one right there, and then when I went to Vegas recently I bought another table. So because of the size of this room, there is room. I just need to get off my duff and reorganize everything.
Interesting. Because, you get on there and Jess's place, it's so clean. It looks so
Like even like if I can see my chair, that's an accomplishment.
It's just where you can see me.
Oh, you just got that one spot. There's chaos like going on.
Yeah. Like if I pan over to this, you'll be like, whoa. Yeah. I get everything out and I look at everything and try to put, my projects in piles.
Mm-hmm.
And then it lives there for a couple of weeks.
Pan over, Jess. I
Nora.
want to see the chaos.
No.
I can just imagine.
I'll send you a picture later. The world's not ready for that yet.
Huh?
I said, I can just imagine what you say about me with my mess, because I basically move it from one end of the room to the other, upstairs to downstairs,
You know what
back upstairs.
Well, you know what I say. You know what I say because when we're texting each other, messaging each other, I'm like, Deb and I is like, oh, Mona's moving stuff around again. She's moving stuff.
Well,
My
this summer I did
closet.
get rid of 6 garbage bags full of fabric.
I'm almost there. My closet is the one room where I am shifting everything around because I haven't given away or thrown away any of my makes. So I have everything I've ever made.
There's
And it
nothing
adds
wrong with that.
and it adds up.
There's nothing wrong with that. Deb, you're awful quiet.
I was just about to say the same thing. Hi, Deb.
Hi. How
Oh,
are you?
Are you hoarse?
No,
that sounds
What
like
are
you
you
had a
working
cold.
on?
that one that I found on my kitchen table.
Hi, Z's Gaming. Welcome in. Haven't seen you in a long time. Melanie says, William, do you have enough makes to open a store?
Yes, and have aisles. I could have a cape aisle. For a year, I sat here and I made hoodies. I made quite a few, like over 100 of all kinds, thick, thin, with pockets, without. Going to when I discovered downtown Los Angeles, the prices were insane. So I started buying rolls and rolls of fabric, and it was over after that. I'm so spoiled. Even when we were in Vegas, I was looking at the price of fabric, and I'm like, "Oh, this is highway robbery." But that's the average price, you know.
And I'm like, this is normal.
It's not
$12,
normal.
$13 a yard. And he's like gasping.
No way.
Barry bought a 1970s white 618B sewing machine. William, I need your help.
Hey, I'm right here. I am right here. I probably have
Barry
that
has
for-
only been quilting for a short time, and he's got a bad addiction. I mean, he is like collecting all the stuff. He's just going ahead and buying it. He'll figure out how to use it later, but he's just buying all the stuff.
That's how it worked. That's how I started. I went from like a certain amount of machines. I was like, oh, I don't have this one. I need this one. But when I first started, I didn't know, because I sew, I didn't know that some people just collect sewing machines. There was someone who legitimately said to me, "You use your sewing machines?" And I was like, what else am I supposed to use them? Like, what are we doing here?
Interesting.
Yeah, I have a red eye I've never used. The cord looks a little frayed, and I don't dare start a fire.
Joy asks, William, when will you start making female garments? I actually do. I actually have a clientele of people that I make clothes for, but it started off as I made a dress for one person. She told somebody else, and it just kind of exploded from there.
Yeah, it doesn't take long when they know you sew. Can you do
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Can you do that? I'm like, no, I don't know how. What do you mean? You sew. Can't you hem jeans? No.
That's different. If like, and I was in Hobby Lobby one time, and this woman was like sweet talking me, and she's like, "Will you have my husband's pants?" And I was, no, no. That's what you should have started off with. That. But I do make women's clothing, but it's more on demand kind of thing. Because I use myself as a model. So if you're 5'9" and you have the wingspan of a condor, I have clothes for you. I can always switch the arms, but
Yeah, I used to make clothes, but then with the sales, it's cheaper just to buy it than it is to buy the fabric.
I almost got talked into, and it wasn't anything like I was gonna do serious, but someone I knew was like, "Hey, on the weekends, would you be interested? helping me out at my bridal shop. And I was like, let me get back to you. And I typed in bridal shop on YouTube, and everybody was like, I hate my job. Every video.
I couldn't do that either.
No.
So I almost worked at a bridal shop.
I used to do dance costumes. That I liked. Dealing with the parents, no. So
I think that's another thing I'm not ready for. The people that I work with are like extremely modest humans. I'm making Little House on the Prairie dresses.
well, that's nice.
I don't know if I'm ready for a diva.
I swear to God, my daughter, she would complain about the fit. Now, she would try on something that somebody else made. Same exact fit. Oh, it's fine, but mine wasn't. You.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
Now, what do you have?
I have lemonade, raspberries, water, M&Ms, and Doritos.
Oh, all right. As long as you don't have my rum, I'm okay.
So, Deb, are you going to come to California so we can go skating in the gym?
No.
Come on. We can have capes on. We can go in the gym.
I'll be your spectator.
Okay.
From here.
It only gets to be 110 during the summer.
Yeah. No.
We've got swamp coolers in there.
That don't want no swamp butt.
This chick don't like those temperatures.
I still go in there. I just don't videotape myself as much.
Melanie says, I want to see Deb skate. Not me. Last time I skated, my feet went up in the air and I ended on my back in a cement. And I said, that's it. I'm done. I sat right there, took them off. My mom's like, are you okay? I go, yes. She goes, you going to skate? I go, no. Took them off and I walked the rug with Haley. She was only maybe 3. So I had to walk back and forth on the carpet with her.
No, wow.
Haven't had them on since.
I started off
skating every weekend.
I started off ice skating. So that's what started my love for rollerblades.
What about you, Lisa? Do you skate?
No.
Nancy, it's WKRP in Cincinnati on my television. I use the 1970s as inspiration for my clothing.
I'm not coordinated enough to skate.
Well, I used to be pretty good, but
I did too.
except the one time I was holding hands with the boy skating around, and I forgot they had this brick chimney hanging out in the corner of the rink. Smack! Woo! I'm like, I'm okay. That hurt.
I used to be able to skateboard. I wouldn't be able to do it now.
Oh, I can't do anything I used to do.
I still skateboard, but I'm scared of breaking my ankle. Because skateboarding, there's like this whole kick you have to do a nollie. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I can recover. Because I fell in my skates one day, and I laid there for a minute before I got up. I just edited it to make it look like I didn't lay there for a minute.
So once you get to the age of 40 or above, you try to do these things that you did when you were younger in your teens, your early 20s. And you get up there and you think, oh, I can do this. And you fall on your butt. Something always happens. Something always creaks. Something doesn't feel right for days after. You pull muscles you didn't know you had.
I used to surf, and I don't know if I could physically do it because I don't go swimming every day anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Swimming
definitely
takes
can't.
every
I can't
muscle.
go like this. Well, I can, but that's about it.
Well, you're on a board while you're doing it with your head up.
Mm-hmm.
My speed is the lazy river, or at the lake, I get on the raft and I put my chair in the water and I hook my toe around the chair to keep me from floating away.
So, twin, next quilt show, we're going surfing. I don't care where it is.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
find water. I'll bring my board.
I'll be on the beach.
Georgia, there'll be alligators, won't there?
She'll be on the beach.
I have a longboard.
I'm just gonna get binoculars. I'll be. Where is he? Where'd he go?
A longboard. It's almost 8 feet. It's literally just cruises.
Okay.
That's when you get
on board.
That's when you get that weird tan, when your entire back is a different color than the rest of your body.
Yeah, I might get sunburned.
Mine's the opposite. My front gets tan and the back will be white. I look like an Oreo walking down the street.
I have that right now. I am a completely different color. I need to go stand in the backyard with my shirt off. I'm like 5 different shades right now.
I haven't been to the beach in almost 3 years. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's a requirement where I live. We are contractually obligated to go at least once a year.
I don't think my aunt's lived out there for, I don't know, at least 50 years. And I don't think she's ever been to the ocean.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. She doesn't sun. She wears a big hat, goes with an umbrella when we go somewhere. I'm like, oh my God.
My mom's like that. My mom's allergic to the sun. She wears long sleeves hats.
Why
Now,
don't
I do tend to cover up where they cut a big hunk out of my back. But other than that, when I'm at the beach, I'm like, I don't know, you stay away and just let me sit here and let it hang out and enjoy myself.
See, Melanie wants to go. See, Melanie and I are going to go out on the longboard, like Gidget. I loved that show. I loved Gidget. That between Sally Fields and Frankie Valli, they made me want to surf.
Did anybody even surf on that show?
No, they stood in front of a screen and they went like this.
Oh, Donna Dixon's been a member for 13 months. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's yay.
I'm just sewing some leftover squares together so I have something to practice on when my cutie gets here. But I found these cute little cows.
Oh, I love a cow.
Oh, that one can't go there. My cow.
He loves the cute cows.
I do. I'll have one someday.
I sewed all my cows. Oh, no, I didn't. That one goes. I don't want a cow. They poop too much.
Please continue. Please continue to tell the truth about cows.
But there's so much more good than bad.
Oh, they're cute.
Don't rain, I'm afraid.
You never stepped in a cow patty, have you?
I probably have when I was little. Yeah. So my my aunt and uncles, like my whole side of my mom's family, they all have dairy farms. So I was always out in the pastures and stuff like that. Because that's how we had to get to the woods. We had to go through the pasture. But
Jim quits. He must not be winning.
Aw.
Sheila says free fertilizer.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a Newfoundland, and you know that liquid fertilizer that they used to spray on the fields?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he'd get a whiff of that, and she would take off and go and come back. Oh, covered in that liquid fertilizer, just a rolling. Oh.
There's a time of year where everybody puts that on their lawn, and it's just unescapable around here.
Oh, it stinks.
It smells like Georgia.
But I work with animals, so I'm kind of like I'm semi nose blind to that.
Mhm.
And you do, because I live around a whole bunch of farms and they sell dairy cows they have dairy cows and then they have steers and stuff. And what stinks the most there's chicken plants over here. So
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have those.
and a
them
chicken.
chicken gut trucks in the middle of the summer. Oh my gosh.
Nope.
In Central California, and we have them around here, but not as much. They'll have farms with 3 million cows. And so you'll turn a corner and you'll just see endless cows in the field,
Mhm.
and you can smell it 15 miles coming up the road.
Mhm. Yeah,
Most-
those gut trucks are bad, and peanut hulls are bad. Because they get really foul smelling,
Mm.
and you have to discard them. But they use it for fertilizer and stuff, and it's
Right.
the country. It's the country.
What are you working on, Lisa?
Huh?
What are you working on?
Oh, I'm making half square triangles. I'm making stars. I want to get my husband's quilt finished.
How's that coming along?
Slowly, nothing applique goes quickly. But I hope I have it done by next weekend. So that way I can put him on George. Put the quilt on George.
Yeah, I heard you were screwing on George all weekend, getting those little bolts in the extension cords.
Man, I heard something else.
That's what I heard, William. I'm like, what?
I'm just going to put my tablecloth on and mind my business. I didn't know what to do with this. I just cut a head hole in it and called it a day.
The funny thing is, it's usually me that says stuff like that.
Yeah, because I usually think it, but I don't say it. But sometimes my filter's broken.
Mine's almost always broken.
I try. I filter myself because there's all
I
kinds
try
of things
to.
that I want to say.
I try. But it doesn't always work.
I try to. I'm a positive person, so I try to look on the bright side.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because there's so much negativity and so many negative people out there. I just choose to not be one of them. And I think I put this on the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm positive except for first thing in the morning before I have my tea. I am a royal bee. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me.
Mm.
Don't ask me for anything because it ain't happening. Ask Kaylee. She knows. Oh, my cow's upside down. But that's all right.
Good to know. Good to know.
I'm kind of the same way. When I wake up.
Yeah, she is so nice in the morning. She comes down smiling from ear to ear, cheery, just annoying.
She's a morning person.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Which was actually nice when I had to actually get him on the bus and stuff. But wow. Just some days you're like,
Sheila said that she's not filtered, she's distilled.
Distilled.
I kind of live by that old adage, you know, if you have nothing nice to say.
Mhm.
I try
What will
to.
grandmother say? If you don't have nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut. Don't say that. I'll wash your mouth out with soap.
Mhm.
I only ever washed my son's mouth out with soap once. And at that time, I didn't know Dawn dish soap was poison. All I did was put one little tiny bit in there. Well, I went to go do dishes, and I had bought a bunch of those bottles of Dawn on sale. That little shit, he dumped them all down the drain.
Mom won't do this again.
Yep.
No, my mom took a bar of soap. That's how she did it. I still to this day. I can't stand it.
I never understood why they would say that to you. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything nice at all. But they were with their gossipy sisters and cousins talking about everybody and what somebody was wearing, and did you see
Oh yeah,
down the street? You know what I mean?
that's
what
how.
I do.
That's actually how I learned to speak Spanish, because everybody was speaking a different language, you know, trying to be over everyone's head, and I just sat there and started paying attention. I was raised by what is considered senior citizens.
Uh-huh.
So I completely agree with you on that, because they were talking about everybody.
They do, because I was raised by Puerto Ricans, and they would just get in the corner, and they're all, you know, they're all speaking another language, thinking that the little kids didn't hear. But we pick things up. You learn real quick,
Oh yeah.
and they're talking about so and so's boyfriend and the aunt and the auntie who was mad because this woman was talking to their husband, and so
I still hang out with my mother, so I know everyone's business. I know everyone's, and she because I tell her I don't want to know, and she'll just tell me.
Right, and many of the women in that era, they didn't work. They stayed home, raised the family. So they were nosy. They were always looking out the street, who was going to whose house, who, you know, how long they stayed.
They probably had a stopwatch on some people. Yeah.
But then they would tell us as kids to mind our own business and not to say anything. Yeah.
It was I don't know, it was a different time, I guess, because my parents were extremely conservative in public, but at the house they were like, don't draw enough attention to yourself, goodbye. You know, like, don't get in trouble, don't have the cops drop you off.
Right. Right. Well, I think Deb, Mona, and I grew up at that time period where you just summertime. As soon as it was bright out, you went out, played, and you stayed out all day. Came home when the street lights came on. They didn't ask where we were. They didn't care.
My mom would lock the door. Back at lunch, that was it.
I do. As a child, I miss that. I was quite feral as a child, so I miss that. I told my kid all the time, enjoy life before you have to pay bills.
Yes.
Enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because it goes by so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be old so bad, and I tell him, like, you'll get there, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's Nancy's mom would say, don't do as I do, do as I say. That's what my mom used to do.
I hated that.
Oh, I used to get so mad. Oh.
That's like the first time I got caught smoking.
Down to my knees, and she'd be wearing mini skirts. Oh, that used to just burn my buttons bad. So I'd have to sit there and roll up my skirt before school.
Yes, Melanie. Yes. I love children back then. It was the best time to grow up. Raised on water hose. Shalom said raised on hose water and neglect.
I can taste that hose water. That was amazing. That hose water was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was the last of a tribe, so my parents were like, it's different though because I was the youngest. So, and I'm 7 years younger than my sister. So when they disappeared, my parents were like, okay, we're gonna go out to eat. Don't tell your siblings. Like they changed completely when everybody else was out of the house.
Hi, Nikki B.
Hey, Nikki.
My older brother, he never did a thing wrong in his life. I was always the one that was pushing the boundaries, grounded for life, and then I told, I kind of taught my little brother what not to do to get caught. And I never did anything bad. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I didn't like anybody telling me different. I was very rebellious.
I'm still like that within my own restraints. No, because I do in a lot of ways. I have the power to do whatever I want. I have to restrain myself. Says the guy who just went and bought a serger.
Another one?
So we haven't. Yes.
Is this the one that you had yesterday, or did you buy another one and already break it?
No, I haven't broke it yet. It yet. But you know what it was? I was watching the news and they were like, prices are going to go up on everything. I was like, oh, that's an excuse. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I purchased too.
Shalom said you'd have to let it run for a minute or you'd get burnt. Yeah, the water would be hot in the hose.
You know, Nikki, in my family, my sister was a golden child and her crown became tarnished.
Yeah.
It happens in every family.
I think that's why maybe you have to wait 48 hours for a missing person's report now. Because most of us was gone for so long and our parents didn't know if we were home in the backyard or anything. That back then they would say, if somebody was missing, if a child didn't come home, they say, did you go check down the street, go to the park, did you do this? And I lived in Hawaii, so we walked to the beach a lot. Me and my friends, we just walked to the beach. So we could have drowned and our parents wouldn't have known.
Well, I went to North Carolina and called my mom. She didn't even know I was gone. I was gone for 2 days. Well, I was at the neighbors. I'm like, no, I'm in North Carolina.
When I was a kid, me and my friends would go to Mexico because their legal drinking age at the time was 16.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
If my son did that, I'd have to be hospitalized. He would literally have to tranquilize me if I found out my son went to a foreign country without my knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're watching, they changed the age to 18, and you're nowhere near there.
I know my poor granddaughters, they didn't stand a chance because I knew it all. I'm like, oh, no. I had to know where they were, whose parents. I had to meet them.
I'm like that. I try not to be, but in today's world, you kind of have to be.
Yes.
I agree.
Because we used to say, oh, we're spending the night at each other's houses, and then we'd go out and party.
Same. Me and
They
my
never
cousin
got away with that with me. I'm like, nope. My mom would call and check, and the whole party would have to be shh. My mom's on the phone. So we'd be talking real quiet. Oh, we're just watching a movie. Okay. And then get off the phone and go back crazy. But I'd always have to find out, watch a movie that I've already seen because she would ask, well, what happened in the movie? Those were simple, nice times.
I know. I'm nostalgic. But if you had a time machine, I wouldn't go back if you paid me.
No.
Oh, I wouldn't be a teenager again. No way.
I actually would go back in time and slap that first cigarette out of my hand. But besides that, like, don't do that.
Yeah, I never would have smoked again. That's about it.
You know, you really don't see that anymore. Even when I was in Vegas, people do not smoke anymore like they used to.
Mhm. I saw some people vaping,
That's
but
so weird to me.
Yeah, me too. That's even worse.
yeah.
Oh, look at the little birdie. I'll make an I Spy quilt.
So, Chad, where's the next quilt show? I am the official Carmen San Diego. I have a car. I might get on a plane.
Yeah.
I saw your face on that one.
Yeah.
There
I'll
is
wait
a
for Chad to say something.
there's just a weird quilting season. And like there's shows in the beginning of the year, and then they have them during the summer, and that's it.
Well, no, I mean, usually during the summer they kind of cool down a little bit. That's
Because
what I've
it's
noticed.
hot.
I've
Yeah.
never been to one.
And then at the end of September they start back up again until
Okay.
November. But
What if I just get one of those? See, I don't want to do van life though. Van life scares me. But I want to get a van with a big sticker with me like this.
yeah.
Coming to a quilt show near you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I used to want to do van life, and then I'm like, you can't even get up in a van, let alone make a fire, pee in a bucket. No.
If I had like a 40-foot motor home, maybe. But
Oh, I
I
could travel in one, but I couldn't see me driving. I'd be taking out people going down the highway.
Mary asked if it was a van down by the river, Mona.
that was a legitimate threat back in the day.
Yeah.
Now most people can't even afford the van.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was like the threat. You'll be living in. I tell my son, I have a revised version of that. Oh,
My
Bears like Paducah in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's at the end of April. That's
And
the big one for ASQ, AQS, whatever it is. Yeah.
I was going to go to that one, and I planned on it. Told my husband we were going to go. Asked my daughter if she could come down and watch the fur babies for me because I don't kennel them.
Mhm.
But asked them, and then work said that I had to attend a mandatory 3-day meeting
Oh, geez.
or training, a 3-day training, mandatory.
I've been crying.
I'm really upset because I've never been to a quilt show.
Yeah, me either.
And Jamie, well, everybody, in the chat and everybody was saying that it had a better selection of quilts
Mhm.
than QuiltCon.
Yeah, that's the biggest one for that organization is Paducah. That's the one to go to.
So I guess next year.
I had a great time at Road to California. And when I went to the Vegas quilt show, I knew it was a smaller venue. I had such a good time.
Yeah.
Those people were amazing. They were happy to see us. They loved your Tula pink patch that you made that I just happened to be wearing.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
shit.
love your vest. They love touching your vest.
I got groped a couple of times. I'll learn to put a rocker a little bit higher next time.
Yeah.
This one woman legitimately was like, I love your rocker. And she went like this and she fully grabbed my butt.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
She was like, I love your rocker. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you.
And he's going, woo!
He's like,
Hey, I'll take it where I can get it.
well, but it was a lot more personalized too, that quilt show. So which I enjoyed.
I was impressed because Road to California was more like huge halls and art, just absolute artwork, but the people weren't there per se, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a job for them instead
Yeah.
of just being there and socializing. And yeah, even that little girl came up and talked to us about the quilts a little bit.
I was like, okay, I have to listen to everything she's saying.
Yeah, she was so cute.
Barry said, keep them away from long arms at the show.
Oh no, I've tried to get him on a long arm. I was like, come on, let's drive this thing. Nope.
No, because I know the second I touch it, I'm gonna go buy one because I do want to do that. Like I'm a World War II fighter pilot. I want to do that so bad, but I know the second I touch it, I'm like, okay, can you mail this to my house?
Yeah, I just said, come on, just write your name. You'll be fine.
I don't have the. I'd have to like. That would be the great cleaning. That would be the great cleaning in this room. I'd have to rearrange this entire
The
room.
whole place. Yeah.
Or get a storage unit.
I have one, and it's in Paris. You know, I've had a storage unit.
But
I've had one for 6 years. It's like having an apartment. Because at the end of the year, you pay a lot of money to have a storage unit.
But just remember, George is only 38 inches long.
But can I do this with George?
No.
No.
No, you can't do that. You can't do the machine gun.
Oh.
You're pushing the fabric under the bullets, okay?
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll put George in the corner, and then I'll put a long arm right. You know, I have a blind stitcher that if anyone needs 700 pockets, I'm your man. I don't know why I bought that thing, but it's just become a giant 300-pound table in here.
Shalom said she used to get her butt touched without the rock or something without scrubs. I can't see the whole thing.
How
My
many
eyes are-
men feel entitled?
Yeah. Hi, Agnes.
Nobody puts
Joe.
George in the corner. Is my Star Trek t-shirt still out here? It is.
Oh.
I want this.
I don't know. My husband's starting to have second thoughts about George. That's all I know.
George is taking over. Oh,
George more than her husband.
Nobody puts number one in a corner.
he's showing you guys a shirt.
I have a huge collection of t-shirts.
I could live in t-shirts. I usually do.
Mm.
The bigger, the better.
Oh man.
And if I'm tired, I can just hop in bed with my t-shirt.
I don't know. They were talking about that last night on William and Jess and Rita were talking about it, and Jess and William, the twins, were saying they don't like V-necks, and Rita doesn't like anything that chokes her.
Mm-hmm.
I like
That's
V-necks.
pretty good.
The round ones pop open when you bend over. I don't like them as well.
Yeah, I like the round ones V-necks.
No, I don't like a V-neck. Not at all. I can't do
I
it.
love the V-neck.
You would if you lived in Georgia and you go outside and it's like the air is choking you, your shirt's choking you. Everybody walks around in tank tops. In
Yeah,
the
when I
South.
lived in North Carolina, I wore shorty shorts and tank tops. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, I would not leave the house in those now, but
Yeah.
I'd be going out in some Bermudas.
Yeah, during the summer, I just wear athletic gear the whole day. Just shorts and tank tops the whole year, the whole summer.
I don't wear tank tops anymore either.
Yeah.
I got too much arm baggage. Woo, woo. I could wave to you without even moving.
I don't care. I was like, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Lots of cut-off sleeves. At my job, we have to wear long sleeve. So in the parking lot after work, everybody's taking their, they're taking their shirt off because it's hot.
Mm-hmm. Although the old farmers over here, they all wear long sleeve. It doesn't matter how hot it gets, but they said it's because it actually cools your body off. The sweat from the long sleeve will retain whatever. And
Mhm.
I would think that it's like a damp rag on you all the time. You
I've
know?
actually
Sheila loves a sundress.
Me
I've
too.
been to places where everyone's wearing a sundress per se, and people like there's lots of white linen.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Everybody's wearing.
linen's nice and cool.
Yes.
Actually, that's how I learned to layer was in places like Egypt or the Middle East or something, because it's hot. It gets like 120 there,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's wearing layer upon layer of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have no hair, so I don't have to worry about. Besides covering my head.
Yeah, when I worked at the car plant, it would get 100 and something in there. I would just go into the bathroom, completely wet my shirt, my hair, put my hair up wet, put my shirt back on, and then that would keep me cool, the rest of the time.
Going back to what Lisa said about the heat, I don't know if we were on stream or not, but I think I'm just used to the weather here. Because even when I was in Vegas last summer, it was 100 something, and I kind of felt it, but it wasn't like culture shock or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not those crazy people that go to the Mojave Desert when it's 140 outside.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even imagine.
If you are involved in heat tourism, seek help. They had to invent the word. I'd never heard of it until a few years ago. They're like, oh, we have heat tourism in California. I'm like, that's not real.
Wow.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel challenged by the weather.
Well, I've lived in Georgia. Oh gosh. It's been a while now. And it was the first couple years, it took a long time to acclimate because I'm from Hawaii. Then I lived in Bermuda and then lived in cooler spots, lived in Pennsylvania, where there was blizzards.
Mm-hmm.
Winters never bothered me, but the summers, I kept telling my husband, we need to go back north. We need to find an island or we need to go back north. But, life being what it is, here we are. Now the winter is really bothers me now because I've just been here too long and the summers bother me.
And when is it perfect for you?
Right. That the 2 weeks of fall that we get here and the 2 weeks of spring.
Yeah.
It's permanently 70 degrees here. And that's
She
not
did
a
a lot of complaining.
I do. Oh, I get so miserable. Well, anytime you have to live in a place where you go to the store 5 minutes away, your ice melts by the time you get home. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You have to go and get freezer bags to bring ice cream home or popsicles home.
I absolutely love Los Angeles. I love the culture, everything. Today, I was driving back from the swap meet. I got caught in 30 minutes of traffic, and I was like, I am moving. I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, like, I hate this place. In my hometown, it's just, there was an event at the park. Like, there's this weird split where my town is on both sides of this freeway. And there was just nothing but traffic. So I went on the other side. I go around, and there's an event at the park. And so it took me almost 30 minutes to get home when I was 6 minutes away from my house.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm sitting in the
park and walk.
Oh, and when I was a kid, this was a cow town. This was like nothing was here. Me and my friends, we'd go play baseball out on the main avenue because there was no cars. So I totally understand, Lisa. And I love where I live, but I'm leaving. I can't. It's too many people. It's just crazy what's happened.
Well, it looks a lot different from It looks a lot different than when I was there. When I was in California, because I was all over California, went to San Francisco and Oakland and everything else. And everything about California is a lot different than it was when I say it was 40 years ago, because I was in my 20s. It was just really nice. It still had that surfer dude mentality, and you know, life was a little bit different then, and now it's
My town has been taken over by the movie industry, and it's not the industry itself, it's the people who move here.
right, right. Be- For the longest time, I thought I could live in California because there's a high population of Hawaiians there. And they have the local foods, and
Mhm.
I thought it was a nice mix. My husband, I could live there. He could get his white man food, and I could get my my local food. And but we ended up on this side of the island from the last time he was stationed, and he's from Georgia. So
Mm.
Oh, okay.
his
Okay. You're pretty much stuck there then.
yeah. He's from Georgia, and we moved back because his mom was really, really sick. I mean,
Aw.
she was
That's
really
what
sick.
that's what happened to me.
Uh-huh.
I helped out my father, and and I'm still here.
Well, exactly. We used to drive every other week from Pennsylvania to Georgia.
Yeah.
Because we lived in
Wow.
Pennsylvania, and every other week we would get off a couple of hours early on Friday, do a straight drive to Georgia, in Southwest Georgia, not Atlanta, Georgia. Southwest Georgia. Sleep for a couple of hours, check on his mama and the family, and then early on Sunday morning, get back on the road, drive to Pennsylvania, and then go to work on Monday.
Oh wow.
So I finally told him, I said, your mom's not getting any better. We just need to, while our daughter was young, just move back home. Just move back to your home so you can check on her. And I said, and then we can move back to Pennsylvania. Here we are.
Did you like Pennsylvania?
Oh, I loved it. I really love Pennsylvania because we lived in Harrisburg.
Oh, that's a nice area.
Yeah, so we were real close to Amish country. It was just really, really pretty.
Yeah, I would be able to visit you in Harrisburg. I don't know how far it is, but it can't be more than.
Of course, the apartment complex that we lived in when my daughter was, I think she was 5 years old or 4 years old, they found a dead body in one of the person's closets.
Good God.
Right, all
They
wrapped
say
in
where I live is
plastic. But we ended up there after he got out of the military because his sister lived in Pennsylvania. And that's where we chose to go. But I would go back. I would go back.
If I were to move, I would move back to upstate New York. I just had a blast there. Although I wouldn't be able to do the same things I did then, but it was a nice place to live.
Although we could all move close to Deb because Deb likes to purchase things, and we could just shop in her room.
Mona, were you on the western side of New York?
I was in upstate New York, in between Binghamton and Syracuse.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is that the part of New York you're from?
No, I grew up the last county on the eastern side. So I grew up an hour south of Montreal, Canada.
Oh,
So I could see Vermont and everything from my house.
so that's where you get your little Canadian accent from?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's not really strong, but certain words that you say is very Canadian. Yeah.
I know, and I really try to squish it. But when I talk to my family, like my vowels change. Yeah.
But it's cute. It's really cute.
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
When I was in school, people always said, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" well, you have a Southern accent. And I said, well, I'm from Southern Iowa.
Oh.
I'm from Ohio. I just moved to upstate New York. My second husband was from there. He left. I stayed. I don't know where he is, but I lived there for about 30 years.
Well, you miss New York anyway. You miss.
Yeah, all my friends are from there.
Mhm.
I'm going in June. Look out, people. All the ones that are still alive, I'm coming.
It's coming right up Highway 81.
Yep.
I'm like that with Oregon. I had a great time living there. It was beautiful. They had culture, all kinds of fun stuff. But the Oregon I remember doesn't exist anymore.
Mhm.
I lived in. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's how it is about Hawaii. You know how you can never go back to your.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can never go back to what your childhood was like. It exists in your mind. It doesn't exist because when I was growing up in Hawaii, it was all sugarcane. I mean, it was sugar fields and pineapple. And now I look at pictures when it's on TV of the place I grew up in. It is marinas and skyscrapers and homes built on homes built on homes. I mean,
they've actually done that to my area, and it's kind of an eyesore. It's great for people that have a contractor's license, but it's insane how many houses they're building, and they're catering towards certain types of people. They are now building houses where you can park your RV inside.
oh no.
So they have these 2-story garages. You drive by, they look like firehouses. All the houses, they look like old firehouses because they have these giant garage doors.
Well, that'd be cool to see one of those. If I had a garage that big, that would be my sewing studio. I could put platforms. I could fill it with all kinds of fabric.
That's what I was just thinking for him. Yeah, that's what you need, Liam.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a $10 million house so I can live in the garage.
Yes.
Those things are so expensive. I'm sure they're not 10, but they're probably 5 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Just like the property value around here is weird.
It kind of upsets you because, like, growing up, I lived on the poor side of the island. Everybody wanted to be in Honolulu. They wanted to go to Waikiki Beach. They built all that area up and they ran out of land. And they said, oh, what can we take now? And so they took all the poor people's land. I mean, that's the way, the blue-collar workers' land. And it's so expensive that people can't afford to live in Hawaii if you were born in Hawaii.
I actually know a few people that have come here because of that very reason. From Hawaii. And someone I knew from way back in the day lived there forever. And then one day I saw him at the store. I was like, what are you doing here? But he told me Hawaii is unattainable.
Yeah, if you were born there, you can't afford to live there. You have to be a tourist or somebody that is on a contract from your big company that they're paying for your home. But it's really expensive. And even the base that I lived on, the base is gone and it's now homes. It's just homes for regular people. It's not a base anymore.
Wow. It's like that here too.
Yeah.
People have
saying hi to George.
What's saying?
Carol.
Oh, yes.
George says hi.
All right, am I missing something? No.
So when you name your sewing machine George, is it like George of the Jungle?
Okay.
George Jetson?
No, Looney Tunes Abominable Snowman.
George. Yeah.
I love that.
So you know what I'm talking? I'm going to call him George.
Yes,
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm going to love him and squeeze him and hug him.
Whatever. Yes.
I was so excited to get him, and when he got here, I thought about a girl's name, and I'm like, no. And then it just popped on me. I'm gonna love him. I said George. Yeah, we're calling him George.
Still not naming stuff, twin. Still not naming stuff.
Oh, I already got it. It's already up here. We got some stuff going on. I'm just going to start calling it by name, and then eventually you'll just start calling it that same name.
Yep.
See, now that you told me,
Yeah.
Now that you told me, I'm just gonna call it its appropriate name. I grew up around feed animals. We called them breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I'm glad that you do.
So I don't have it in me to name things.
Well, welcome to my life.
All my machines are not named. So my Janome is named because my husband named it. It's called Janome is called Owiza. My husband calls me Weeza from the Jeffersons. And he'll say Owiza all the time. So my Janome
cute.
My Janome is Owiza because when I first got my Janome and I started getting into quilting, he's like, I'm like, I gotta go sew, and he'd say Owiza. And my featherweight is named after my granddaughter.
Aww.
But my treadle and my heavy duty, he doesn't even deserve a name. He's called the bucket or something.
Like I had a baby lock, Natalie. She had a name. She came with a name.
We'll see.
What was her name?
Natalie.
Natalie.
And then I destroyed it because I made a million coats on that thing.
Well, you can name one of them Twin, right? So you can always sew with your twin.
Aww.
I got a good one.
I have actually triplet, quadruplet sergers in here.
Well, no, we don't want.
I don't want to be a serger.
Yeah, we don't need crash and burn sewing machines.
I think that they're way beefier than what they are.
So, what is your favorite one? Has to be called Twin. The one that you sew on the most is the one you need to name Twin. So it doesn't matter where she's at, if she's in school teaching or whatever, you're always sewing.
Having a moment. Hold on.
Although you need to find one for Shalom, so you need to get one for what was she? She wasn't Leaky Bucket. What did she call herself?
Chunky Tweed.
Chunky Tweed. Yeah. So you need to get a Chunky Tweed.
Oh, please don't call a machine Leaky Bucket.
I'm just like I said. I'm trying to get from the river to the house, and you're sloshing like this.
Yes, Shalom.
At least I'm always honest in that. I'm honest with you about it, though. Honesty.
See, I didn't. When I bought the serger, I didn't say a word until we got on stream, and it took you a whole 9 minutes to figure it out.
I know. But were you waiting? Were you actually going to time me?
No, I just wasn't going to say anything. If no one brought it up, I would have not said a word about it.
Really?
No.
So what would you have sewn on that night?
I would have taken it out of the box quietly while everyone was talking. plugged it in over here where no one. I have a whole table set up over here.
You mean like you tried to hide last night, Nita? Peanut butter cup, and I caught you. He's over there thinking he's off camera, but his hands are unwrapping it on screen.
See, Mona, you and Ollie can pick that up just like so easy. I was like,
that's because I'm a candy girl. I know. I gotta stop wrapper.
I gotta stop keeping chocolate in here.
So, Mona, do you have any M&Ms left?
Yes, I probably have 10 bags left. I did give Haley some, but she only got 2 of the peanut M&Ms. I ate them all. It's a wonder
peanut M&Ms are amazing.
The peanut butter ones, I'm really not a fan, but I will eat. Mm-hmm. But my brother loves them, so he might get a couple.
So, Mona got a bag. I sent her a bag of M&Ms from Amazon because we were on somebody's live. It might have been Lori's, I don't remember, but we were in the chat, and Mona was thinking about buying the Cutie Breeze. I told her, we kept saying, buy it, buy it, buy it. I'll give you $1 towards it. I'll give you $1 if you buy it. And she said she wanted M&M, so she bought it, and I sent her M&M.
I meant like a little pack, not a whole 1,000 pack. Oh, look at these ones have little sloths on them.
I'm sorry, chat, if I can't really see you.
I can see you, but I'm sorry. I've been ignoring you, but not on purpose.
They're busy playing the game.
Yeah, that's one thing about the game. If you forget, they at least have that to play.
Yeah.
I've been losing. Let me see if I can win again.
I'm trying to figure out some combinations for these pants I've made lately, but I really have to go through my closet and rediscover my jackets.
Oh, and I lost 1,000 buttons. Oh, well. Easy come, easy go.
The red pants that you wore last night?
I can't yes, my red pants that I wore last night. I'm gonna get a really long shirt for that.
Yes.
Oh, those tight pants?
Those tight
Oh,
pants.
I missed the tight pants.
They were quite revealing.
It was towards the end. 2 hours, 34 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Okay, I'll go in and look. I went back the one time he said that he got dressed on camera, but I couldn't find it. And I was at that live and I missed it.
You know what?
I
It's
must
because
have been eating something at that time.
But he's been doing a certain shot lately and he wasn't going to do it. And I was like, no, you got to go ahead and do it for everyone. Everybody's waiting for this shot. And then he turned around and was like, oh, hey.
this tweed is deceptively soft. And so it's not necessary. This is tweed, but it's weirdly soft. And so it's a little bit tighter than most tweed because tweed is indestructible.
That looks like my couch.
It probably was the covering for your old couch.
That and corduroy. That's why your parents never got rid of their furniture.
Today, the vendor, I don't know if he was serious, but there's literally just a ton of tweed on the floor, but there's a bunch of vinyl mixed in with it. And I don't do anything with vinyl. And he looked at me and he's like, I'll give all of this to you for $25. And I told him, you're going to help me take it to my car? Because usually they're like, no. He's like, I'll help you take it to your car right now.
Wow.
But I was like, I can't do it. I can't.
For $25.
It was mainly vinyl. It's vinyl mixed in with tweed. And I bought vinyl one time thinking it was tweed. And now I have like 5 yards of a mat. It's so thick and heavy.
Do you have a fabric haul for us tonight?
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe an early one.
Well, I purchased this
What?
material.
I'll forget you had it until I go on and watch.
I purchased this one material that. Oh, okay. This reminds me of every 1970 and 80s Chevy truck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that
Yeah,
I like.
And I have a ton of this. I grew up around like a lot of trucks, so this reminds me of the old school upholstery on trucks.
The bench seats.
Nice long duster. You know, one of those cowboy jackets.
Big time. I might work on that tonight. See, the problem when I get a bunch of fabric, I want to do a fabric haul, but I also just want to start cutting and sewing it. That's why I'm sitting here, because I'm like, if I start cutting it right now, then I won't have any for my fabric haul.
We can just show us swatches.
And also, I'm trying to not overload my serger, so anything with backing, I'm not purchasing right now. because tweed does come with a weird backing.
Yeah.
Can you take the backing off or no?
Some of it you can. Some of it is almost like this, not gluey, but it's almost this. It's this weird material. I swear it's sprayed on the back. A lot of it is they're used as carpets or drapes. So I am repurposing something that was not meant for clothing. But that's what I love to do.
Bed covers. Oh, I got to show you this one fabric I found in my stash.
Barry, you need to come up on one of Mona's lives or one of our lives so you can ask all your questions.
I found this. Whoops, is it upside down?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's very pretty.
I'm hoping it's enough for a jacket, but I don't think the sleeves will come in because it's, oops, it's like this wide.
Yeah.
It's
Or I can
always
make
this
one of
way.
those moo-moos for the beach.
That's basically what I made.
To have one at the knees. This is Poppies by Grief or Gref from the 80s.
I have a weird question. Did the
Or 70s.
moo-moo ever go out of style, or do people still wear them?
My grandmother wore hers all the way up until she passed. I don't know. I've never worn a moo-moo. I always wear t-shirts.
And is a moo-moo just like what constitutes a moo-moo? What would technically make a moo-moo? Like long sleeves?
So let me tell you that a moo-moo from Hawaii is very different from a moo-moo that I consider an old lady dress.
I remember the 1980s version where everyone was wearing them.
They're actually two different things.
See, Barry's wearing one right now.
Mona, can Barry come up tomorrow at 11? Do we have somebody tomorrow at 11?
I don't think we do. He can come up
like
whenever he wants.
Mona, Barry, do you want to come up tomorrow at 11?
But my grandmother, she would wear the same moo-moo. That thing was so thin, you could see through it. I'm like, throw that away. And she's like, no, it's comfortable. I'm like, well, I can see all your bits. She goes, don't look.
Oh man, my father would wear these corduroy shorts that were this big. They were, and I told him the 70s are over, sir. It got so bad when he was in his 70s. I'd go to pick him up. He'd walk outside. I'd be like, we're not going anywhere until you put pants over those underwear. Because they were. He never got over the 70s.
And then my grandfather still had the same t-shirts that were so t-shirt thin. It was like one of those, I don't know, when you used to go to the club and they had those see-through shirts on.
Oh, yeah.
He wore his undershirts. And he had a whole drawer of new ones, but they wouldn't wear them. Afraid they might get them dirty. I'm like, put something on.
I'll tell you what, the older you get, the old lady dresses are really, really comfortable, and you really, really appreciate them. I mean, you really appreciate them. I just wouldn't go shopping, although here in the Walmart, you pretty much shop in anything you have on, your pajamas.
Totally true.
For the record, I'm still disappointed that I'm not on the people of Walmart. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. Although sometimes
Sometimes
I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that me? Could that be me? You see somebody's back end and you're like, oh, is that my back end? And you have to look real close.
One time at a Goodwill, I was walking out and this guy who I did not even see in the store, he had his back turned, he had his phone, he was looking at a picture that he took of me. And And as I walked out, I'm like, I hope you enjoy my picture. And he kind of fumbled. I just walked right out. But it was creepy
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
had me on his
Probably still
phone.
on his ceiling.
I don't even want to know what that young man was doing with my likeness.
He liked what you were wearing.
But,
Yes.
well, my cowboy hat does draw attention.
That's what we're gonna say.
I'm hoping. No, because I noticed my cowboy hat immediately, and I'm like, oh, you're a creep.
He probably just liked your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He might have just liked you.
Yeah, I don't take
So-
pictures of strangers ever. I love my Nikon, my Canon camera. I take pictures of myself skating in the gym in circles. That's what I do.
So what I would be really afraid of is with all this AI technology is people videotaping you in a public space, and who knows what they're doing with your likeness with AI. You know what I'm saying? You could be floating out there.
Have you seen the ad for those robot dogs?
That keeps popping up on my
No, I
feed.
don't want no robot dog.
It's
You ruined my
a
feed.
scam. It's a scam. AI. They use AI on these things, and people order them. I could make better stuffed animals than what's being sent to these people. I don't make stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such because I got really bored last night, and so I typed in "robot dog is a scam," and all these videos popped up.
Mhm. Yeah, there are a lot of scams, but it's just the AI technology. And I was watching something,
Mhm.
and the person it's a show I followed. The person that was doing it, he actually was testing out an AI program, and if you did not know better, you would think he was saying the things that he instructed AI to make him say. AI and his friend, because everything was timed. The words were timed right, their voices sound right,
Mhm.
and that's scary to me. AI is a little scary.
Yeah. Nancy said those are cute.
You don't have to feed them. I could go on vacation and leave the dog alone if I got a robot dog.
The commercial is such a lie, though. They say that it comes with a USB charger. When
Mhm.
people get the dogs, they're ran by two AAA batteries. We it's not that we had integrity in advertising, it's people backed up what they said. And now it just seems like they can say anything.
So it's Timu. It's Timu.
Totally.
You know when you buy that thing with that table set or something, and you think, oh, what a good price, and you get it in, and it's doll furniture.
Yes.
You know?
I've actually done that with quite a few things. I've learned that I need to learn the metric system too.
Like, look at your dimensions.
Well, I used to know it when I traveled because everywhere else, everything's by liters. It gets confusing when you get gas in other countries.
Deb, Jim wants you to wake up.
I'm awake.
Oh,
I am quite awake.
well, just an hour and a half.
I went out and got my steps in today, so I was drinking coffee before I walked in here. I did. I went out and got my steps in.
Oh,
I haven't
6
started
miles?
my steps.
You close to 6 miles for the day yet?
I don't drag. I'm an old school human. I don't need my phone to track me. I'm addicted to my phone enough. That is
Yeah.
one less app to drain my bat. No, I don't count my steps, but the fairgrounds are fairly large at the swap meet.
Yeah.
So I just figure it out in minutes. You know what
Mhm.
you're at, how long it takes you to walk a mile. And so if it takes you 15, 20 minutes to walk a mile and you walked for an hour, then you've done really well.
I just walk until I'm almost tired, then I turn around and head for home.
The problem about this swap meet is like right around 9 in the morning, because I get there early and I try to leave before the crowd gets there. They start cooking bacon wrapped hot dogs,
Oh,
churros, and I'm like,
Oh.
dude, I didn't bring my Maylocks or my Tums with me right now. I can't have a hot dog at 9 in the morning.
oh, you weren't prepared for that? Oh, wow.
They start making kettle corn. It's cruel. So right around in the morning, you're like, man, this place did not smell like this an hour ago.
Yeah. That fresh lemonade is what gets me.
Oh,
I like that.
the problem with stuff like that is that I'll get a large, then come back and get another one and another one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I was like, you need to put some more sugar in that.
You reminded me to get my lemonade pitcher out. It is lemonade season and sun tea season.
In the sun tea, yeah.
My
I'm
girls
surprised.
are us.
Can't you just go pick your neighbor's lemons down the street? That's what my cat used to do.
Actually, yes, I have a neighbor who spoils me too because she brings them to me, and I bring her grapes. I'm like, here's a million grapes.
Deb, what are you sewing?
Sparrow feet.
Sparrow feet?
Sparrow feet.
Is that a quilt or?
Yeah.
It's for that quilt that she found.
Mm-hmm.
Song
bird quilt.
Is it Song Sparrow or another one?
No, it's just their feet.
Oh, okay.
He's literally Sparrow's feet.
Mona was ready to go look up. Oh, what's the sparrow feet quote about? What did I miss? What's the matter?
Like what? Hi,
It's
the girls
sparrow
are
feet.
welcome in.
Sparrow feet.
Deb S, the deep thinker quilter. Good thing I read that twice.
You piece so well. You piece so nicely. I mean, it's just so pretty.
The
Deb.
bird feet of America, Jim says.
The top row and the bottom row are sparrow feet.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So I have to make 12 of them.
Is the top row birds upside down?
No, it's just their feet.
Oh, no bird, just bird
No
feet?
bird, just the feet.
The whole quilt is nothing but bird feet?
I got a picture here.
I need to see that. Bird is such a video. I thought she was pulling my leg. No, she's pulling bird feet.
For the record, I was expecting an actual bird's foot.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of little twigs with a couple toes.
And those are sparrow feet there and there.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was so confused.
This was one of the first quilts I ever cut out. And you
Well,
can
that's good. It's
tell,
already cut out.
because I'm having to recut everything.
Oh. Sheila said she was about to Google sparrow feet quilt.
See, y'all got FOMO so bad. You were going to look for that pattern.
I was.
It's a fat quarter shop one.
Is it free or?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I started quilting, I didn't pay for nothing
Mm-hmm.
unless I absolutely had to, and then it was on sale.
Yes. How long have you been quilting, Deb?
I just made it up. I didn't do any patterns. I didn't even know how to read one. Well, I know how to read, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, that may be why I'm having to recut all these. I don't usually have to square up my flying geese, but these I do.
Yeah, that whatchamacallit, we have to make, is it four flying geese at a time? I've never done that, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, I've done that. That's easy.
Yeah, it's an easy method.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't figure out why this thing wasn't going together right. Well, once I measured it, then I knew why.
I think William's getting tired. He's ready for a nap over there for his life.
No, I'm watching 2 hockey games at once.
Oh, okay.
The Carolina Hurricanes are smashing the Rangers, I think. And the Kings are playing a tight game.
Well, we usually only go like an hour and a half. Sometimes we go longer. One time, was it a couple of weeks ago, we couldn't stop laughing, so we couldn't leave.
I get easily distracted. I really wasn't. I've never stopped watching hockey, but the pandemic got me back into sports because I was trapped in the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think during the pandemic, we were just all looking for things to watch.
Oh, I built this room. I retiled my house. I went crazy. I put an extra shower head in my bathroom. I got bored.
I was at Grandpa's watching Gunsmoke every day because I was taking care of him. So it was Gunsmoke, and what's the other one? Bonanza.
Bonanza, yes.
Rawhide.
Virginian. And he knew every word. Word for word, he would say it before the guy said it, or at the same time. We watched the John Wayne movie, and he said every single word throughout the whole movie.
Oh.
And I go, have you seen this before?
I'm like that with a few movies.
He probably saw it when it was original.
Well, yeah, they used to take us to the drive-in to watch John Wayne movies. My grandma and him.
Joydy, I am absolutely honored to be surrounded by all these beautiful women to answer your question.
And as he laughs, as he snickers under it.
No, I am absolutely
so full of it.
That's my laughing. That's my Ned Flanders diddly. Is me laughing. That is my knee-jerk reaction. I laugh at inappropriate situations. That makes things worse.
Fall down, I'll be the first one laughing. I'll be over there to help you up, but I'll be laughing the whole time.
If I was in a bank and a bank robber came in, I would laugh.
Oh, no.
Like, ha, 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 ha. It's the inappropriate thing I do. I don't know why.
So you would be like the first hostage, right?
Yeah. Like, come here, Smiley. Come here, Giggles. I've been like that my whole life.
Like what? You think this is funny? You think this is a joke? You want me to...
Malone says, nervous laughter. I get it. Hi, Quilting on. Hi, anybody I missed that came in. I was just kind of not paying attention, but not on purpose. Hi, Sharon J.
And it's not even out of spite or malice. It's a natural reason. I don't know. I'm giddy in that sense. That's why I didn't spot any quilts this week though. Last week I saw all kinds of quilts in the wild, and this week I had my radar out. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you got to start collecting my antique quilts.
You know what's funny? I bet if I looked in my rafters, I probably have a few already in this house. And I just don't know it. I have a lot of knitted stuff. A lot of people like would crochet blankets for my son.
Mm-hmm.
But he would use them, so a lot of them are disintegrated.
Yeah, I have an Afghan my grandmother made me in my trunk. Not of the car. I have an actual trunk in the house. And that thing will stay. It's too hard to come down from upstairs. Too heavy, so it'll be here till whenever.
You know, you got me thinking. I have one in my storage unit, and that thing weighs as much as I do.
Yeah, they're heavy.
They are.
I got it for a coffee table, but then the kids were sticking too much stuff underneath of it. I found candy, all kinds of stuff. So then I took it upstairs. And it's been moved around from room to room, and I'm not bringing it back down. So now it has my blankets in it, quilts. None that I made, ones I bought at the auctions.
I'm really gonna go look at my linen closet after this to see if I.
Yeah.
Because I think that cowboy blanket that I'm calling a blanket might be a quilt.
Wow.
A long time ago, somebody who I do not necessarily. Okay, here's a moral dilemma. Somebody that we utterly and completely do not get along. A while ago, they made my son what I think is a blanket, but I think it's a quilt, and it's cowboy themed. My son has never seen it. Well, I showed it to him. I said, "Look," and I put it up in the linen closet. Is it wrong if I turn it into a hood?
No, do whatever you want with it.
I've had it for 15 years. It's basically sat in my linen closet for 15 years.
So if you turned it into a hood, you would use it. You would take it out. You would pet it. Right now, we're not doing any of that to it.
True.
Call it George.
Whenever I think of George, I think of George of the jungle. Watch out for that tree.
So that would be me. That would be me. Okay, I'm not that clumsy.
That's actually a nickname where I'm from. If they call you George, they're referencing George of the Jungle. Oh, see, now my brain is like, well, let me go see if it's right here. Hopefully, it's because the linen closet just happens to be right here.
Yeah, when we went to the thrift store, I was looking at the linens, and I'm like, oh, that could be a coat. That could be a coat. That one's too thick. It won't go through my machine. I don't want to pull a William.
We have one of my husband's grandmother's quilts that I stole. I mean, I stole it from his mama's house, and when Mama got really sick, I stole it from his mama's house. And I was not into quilting or anything because I haven't been quilting that long. I wasn't anything. And now I look at it because it's up in a tub. It's tattered and stuff. I wish I had kept better care of it. I wish I knew about quilts and the work that went into it.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have just used it for any old thing, like throw it in the yard, let the dog lay on it for a little while. I mean, I really wish I had appreciated the quilt more.
That's like when my mom saw my jacket. She goes, "Oh, I love that. That is so amazing." She goes, "You can sell those for $150." I said, "What?" I said, "It took me 2 months to make this." I said, "Price $650." And I'll think about it. Oh, nobody will pay that around here. I said, good, because nobody's getting money.
You never know. I won't say the young man's name, but there's an artist type of person who's out in the world right now who bought a vest that I made for over $800.
Oh, I believe it.
And he's walking around with Walmart patches on. I know he will never watch this. Some of the patches I got from Walmart.
Everything I make, he's like, make it and sell it. I go, no, then that would be a job. This is fun to me now. If I have to make it, it's no longer fun. It's a job.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole thing with YouTube. I love what I do. The second it becomes harassing and a job, I'm going to start a woodworking channel.
Well, I like that. I like woodworking.
You could do it with Joe's. You could do it with Joe's husband.
Woodworking is something I love to do.
I made a plant stand in high school. and I took the torch, and you know how you used to burn the wood back then? I burned the wood and then shellacked it.
I get bored at my job sometimes, so I'm like, I'm gonna create something. I'm excited though. I don't know if I'm gonna make my Captain Kirk shirt. I should work on that cloak I've been talking about. It's too
Oh,
many.
your stars and stripes one? That'll be cute. Pretty.
This one with the.
Ooh, I like that fabric.
I have quite a few yards of it. And see, that's the thing. They wanted some outrageous price, but because I bought that from the wool people, they gave that to me for $2 a yard.
Oh, you can't beat that.
No.
That's why when Twin tells me the real prices, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
You have a steal.
Hi, Agnes.
I learned the time I went crazy at So Yeah, what $12 a yard adds up to.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to add up fast. Surely don't.
I do want to go in the store next time we're there, though.
Oh,
If
they'll
I
recognize me because I was like, let me get 4 yards of this, and they were like, are you sure? I said, please.
Why would someone say, are you sure? I'd be like, yeah, give it to me.
Well, my thing is, if you're gonna follow me around, I'm gonna put you to work. And they were like, they were really attentive, and they walked up to me, and I'm like, okay, you don't know me, you're gonna give me a tour.
So that's how they were with me at the quilt shop, and I didn't realize that's how they were going to be.
I don't like people
followed
following
around a lot.
That doesn't get out of my way.
And they wanted to tell you about, and it could be my first time, and so they want to show me every single line and every single attachment and everything for the Moxie. But I'm thinking I'm supposed to be doing this sneaky, just kind of getting it off the shelf, putting it in my husband's hand, and just go on our merry way. Don't point everything out and say, well, you need this and you might need that and blah, blah, blah. And this is her
followed around.
Yeah.
When we went to, oh, sorry.
No, he said it was the worst experience.
So yeah, it was different because I kind of expected that. When we went to a place called Hetty's Fabric, I'm more used to that, where you walk in, the guy says hi, and then you peruse around and mind your own business.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I don't like somebody up my butt following me around.
So I
True.
Yeah, I thought it would be like a Joanne's, welcome in, blah, 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 and you go look around, and it was not. So,
in my local Hobby Lobby, they're doing prayer circles over such heathens as myself. It was, to be fair, I tell the story over and over, but to be fair, it was my patches that scared them.
Oh, you know what?
It made me laugh though, because I turned around and the entire staff was in there praying for me. They should have given me a discount. Can I get a discount? I gotta figure out, are those sales weeks like, is that nationwide? Where it's every other week the whole store goes on sale? Is that nationwide?
It's nationwide, and it's every other week is the fabric, and usually it's every other week is that certain department.
Hi, Zaza. Hi, Tasha. Hi, everyone. I missed. I prepped for eternity. Hello. William and Jess are here today. If you want to check out their channels, I have them pinned at the top of the chat.
And I have to say this. My local Joann's was really snobby, so I'm happy to see it go. I'm really, and there's a Joann's in the valley. I'll cry when they close the doors. The one near my house, I'm like throwing rocks at it like Jenny Gump. I'm over it. I'm serious. I am over that place. But if you have a bad experience, would you go back if someone was rude to you?
No.
Mm-mm.
If it's a big store, I'll turn them in. Say, your employee is rude.
This woman was rotten. And like, you know, I don't play that game because I don't walk around with hatred. I don't walk around judging people. And I've worked at it. I'm minding my own business. And so she instantly she didn't like the cut of my jib. Instantly was like, I don't know what it was.
That's unfortunate. You don't get to know people.
Right.
And everybody comes from a different place, a different walk of life. Everybody has a different life experience. But I know that during COVID, at the onset of COVID and things going, there are not very many Asians walking around in my neck of the woods. There's the Chinese people and the people that do nails. So there's not very many Asians, but I was actually working outside of the home, and some of the comments I received in the grocery store, because Georgia didn't have a mask policy after a couple weeks, and some of the comments I received were really ugly. One person told me to go back home, and it's like, but this is home. I was born here. It's like, where am I going?
I feel like getting a t-shirt that says, I'm from here, you're not, move out of California. I totally understand that. I totally understand
that. Some people just have an ugly nature about them, I guess.
I get either one of two reactions with my cowboy hat. People are either like, oh, I love your hat, or they're challenged by it. So I totally understand. And then people are shocked when they find out that I actually work with animals. It totally deflates their fantasy.
Oh, it's like, how many times can we say friend? Should we say friend several different times in honor of Joe?
I kept saying it last night.
I absolutely love Joe's channel. Is this because someone told her to stop saying friend?
Yeah.
Yep.
They
said they had to mute her because she said friend too many times.
Oh, they've never met me. I am Johnny 2 times. I repeat everything. Oh, that's funny. I'm going to start saying friends. Who is this person, friends? They're not friends.
We filled the comment.
How are you, friend?
We're going to stick up for our friend,
Right.
I've always found that weird online when people try to police you in any way. People all the time have comments for me, like on especially recently with my shorts. I know when I get 1,000 views, there's going to be a few people like, what planet is this guy from? But I would never waste my time to talk down to somebody.
Right. Hi, Giovanna. Hi, Lori. Lori says, friend Terry, hi.
Donna, say hello to my little friend.
That's you in that machine, Lisa. That thing is Tony Montana huge.
I know, I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there and her video came up in the group, so I'm like, oh, I'll put it on, and I'm listening, and then I look, I said, holy shit, that thing's huge.
I said that no, I'm not kidding you. I was in bed, I had it like this, I was like, I turned to sideways, that's a big machine.
I know, I had to take a double take. I go, it's bigger than she is.
Exactly.
You better be careful. The machine will suck you through. You'll get stuck in the middle.
But here's the thing. I thought I got the 20. So can you imagine how big it would have been if I actually got the 20?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I would have liked to have the 20, but I thought I got the 20 and I got the 18, which is plenty big. I would have just been intimidated by the 20.
You'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Hey, how big is your twin?
15.
Oh, that's pretty, Dad. What is it? Is that a dress?
No,
Oh,
That's
that's
it's sparrow feet.
I almost said pigeon foot because I call everything the wrong. It's leaky dish all over again.
I said chicken feet. So
I can't remember.
I said crow feet. I meant sparrow. I really did. It's
That
very
is-
pretty, Deb.
That
I
is
can't
one
wait
thing.
to see all your feet. Oh, that looks like a foot. Or a bow.
That is one
Okay,
thing
I
I'm
got
discovering.
4 done. I'm done.
I keep sewing this thing on backwards. I take it off and I put it.
Oh,
Well, it wouldn't be bad if I didn't have to keep recutting what I'm using.
What you cut 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably closer to 4 or 5,
Yeah, you tend to forget what you cut. Hi, Katie.
maybe even 6. I think it was 6 years ago because it was right after I started quilting, and I started in 2019.
hmm.
Hi, Lori, Donna Dixon, Katie. Hi, everyone. Well, it's 5:51. 9 minutes left. I'm going on my goodbye tour.
I love it when you say that.
I need to start doing that. I try to wind down, but then whenever I'm trying to, that's when everybody like has something to say right at the end.
Mona would cut you off in mid sentence. It's okay, bye. You're gone.
Well,
That's when you
usually I'm
3 or 4
hungry or
goodbyes.
something, but I'm not hungry today because I bought this pepperoni dip for crackers. Oh, was it good? I ate the whole thing. The whole thing.
I do that.
Then Haley comes home with a pizza and she goes, "You're only eating one slice." I go, "Yeah, I ate all that pepperoni dip."
Oh, now I'm craving pizza.
I had it last night.
It was good. She made orzo last night with spinach and lemon, but she put peas in it. I'm like, who puts peas in orzo? She goes, I like it. I go, well, it's edible. I'll eat it. But don't put peas in my orzo.
I go back and forth with peas, but I love split pea soup though.
Oh
I
yeah.
do too.
Mm.
But if you just gave me a bowl of peas, I would be like, "What did I do to you?"
I
Why
love
did
pea soup.
Curly peas.
I love pea soup until my mom tried to cheat me and gave me asparagus soup. Oh my God!
I
Are
thought
you
you were going
trying
to
to
say
kill
mashed
me?
peas.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I
What's your
was
name?
just a little kid too, and because I was in elementary school, I always had to go home for lunch, And there was this bowl sitting there of this green stuff, and I'm like, She says, "Oh, it's pea soup," and I said, "No, it's not. I can tell the difference in the smell." So I went over and made myself a peanut butter sandwich instead.
Well, we had to eat what was there. You didn't eat.
Well,
Same.
peanut butter was in the cupboard, so it got eaten.
So I'd say, okay, and then I'd sneak in the middle of the night and get all
Yes.
my...
She knew I wouldn't eat it. I don't know why she even tried.
My mom sucked. She could not cook at all. We used to tease her that she would burn water.
My mother was a really good cook.
Not mine.
I'll never know because mine had a breakdown and quit cooking at a certain age. She lined up all the
That's
kids.
what happened to me.
She lined us all up. She was like, "You don't appreciate me," and I'm not kidding you. My mom never cooked. At least she used to make us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She only made dinner from then on. She was like, "You're on your own. You don't appreciate me," and it worked. I can cook for myself quite well.
Well, that's good. Haley's a good cook. We did one summer of that,
Honey? Hi.
not Fresh Pet, the other thing where they send you the food and the recipes. I
Yeah.
can't remember which one it was.
Ain't that
Hello
Hello
Fresh,
Fresh?
that's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And we did that all summer and it was pretty good. And she really learned to cook. She took
Hi,
some of those
honey.
recipes and made
She
them her
says,
own.
"Hi, William."
Oh, hi, honey.
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
Honey, I'm home and I had a hard day.
I'm not kidding you. Those commercials make it seem like those dogs are like Deb's dog. And it's
Yeah.
all AI.
It
It's
is.
all AI.
Well, now they're getting into my crime shows. I'll be watching, a lot of different crime shows on YouTube. And then there's the AI. And I said, oh, geez, it's not even a real story. I only like true stories.
Oh, my good girl.
Oh, it bothers me too. I fall asleep
Hi,
to
Randy.
those. I fall asleep to certain things on YouTube, and it has been taken over by AI. Like all that that sleep stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All of it has been taken over.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
That
Can't even listen to-
What's going on?
AI is scary. It's sending out subliminal messages.
They used
Buy
to
the dog. Buy the dog.
real fast.
Is that why I was mopping at 3:30 the other day?
Yep.
Actually, I need to mop right now.
My floor is clean. It's just got so many baskets of fabric on it, you can barely see it. But I'm going to carry a couple up tonight.
I clean in layers, and I'm like almost to the point of doing the floor. Like I clean the bathrooms, vacuum the living room.
I think once you reach a certain age, that the government should automatically just send you a maid. I mean,
Yeah.
it should be part of your benefit package, and I think it should be incremental because it's a change to your life if you're used to doing it all yourself. So in the 40s, you just start with somebody that comes in maybe once a week and does the heavy deep cleaning. And then when you get in your 50s, they come in 2 times a week. They just keep increasing. And if they want to, they can cook for you. So you never have to cook again.
I would end up hanging out with my maid, though. I would feel bad. I'm like, let me help you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't have servants. I'm
You'll have to
too.
watch the shoplifting on YouTube. Talk about people who feel entitled. Yeah, I don't like thieves. That's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
Thieves and liars.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
big
want
time.
to. What's that say? A government maid. Sorry. Government maid. Okay, sorry, my glasses.
So
Zaza says, Lisa, they might make you buy an oven.
Shh. I got George before I got the oven. The oven.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
I don't
another
want
thing.
anybody in my house poking around.
I'm better than the maid.
Yeah.
I get behind the toilet, like I remove my my shower curtains and wash them because no one's paying me to do it.
Yeah, I'm really private, so I wouldn't want people coming into my house and going through my things, and I wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
And then going off with their friends talking about the spider they found in the corner of the topmost cabinet.
I would be more
They don't
concerned
want to
than
come here. I got a basement full of them.
they would be like.
But I couldn't stand somebody to come over and get up on a ladder and clean out my gutters because who knows what's in there. They haven't been cleaned since I moved here in 2000 or something.
So that's the outside of the house. And I told my husband whenever he was ready to get a yard man that we could pay a young kid a couple bucks because we have a riding lawnmower and stuff, and they could just use the riding lawnmower.
They'll ruin it. Make them bring their own mower.
Well, it would just sit there. But, I really think that they should offer you assistance as you get older, and so you can pawn off those things that you don't want to do. Like, my
they can't even afford to pay the poor, but they're going to get you a house man.
And that's another thing. Care takes so much money. My grandmother was well off. No one knew she was going to live to be 99. Her carers cost a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
She barely made it to 99 as far as money goes, you know. Like
Yeah.
It
it's
goes
that.
quick once you start paying. That's why I
Oh yeah.
took care of my grandpa. We had somebody come in for one shift, but I did the other two.
Yeah.
We
I
had
think-
a 24-hour day nurse, and I learned the ins and outs of why you should not have that.
Yeah, you need cameras too because a lot of them people aren't good.
Oh man. And this woman, I thought I liked fish, but she cooked a fish that made my house smell like a fish. And I was like, man, I don't like fish all of a sudden. And I love fish. But she did something to that fish where my house smelled like the ocean.
Lisa
Oh, wait.
AD says you would use George more than an oven.
Yes. Yes.
And Nancy says she has to clean before they get there.
I would too. Yeah, I would too.
When anyone is coming to my house, I check the bathroom. I clean my son's room. I feel judged instantly. So I get that.
Because people are nosy. They'll go in your medicine cabinet, go through it and see. They'll go in your cupboards in your bathroom.
Or in your nightstand drawer. Nobody needs to be looking in there.
I have never been that curious. I have never been that curious.
That one I just got that one, Mona.
Okay, it's time for us to go.
We're talking about the nightstand.
They might be offended at what they see.
That's for a Sunday morning conversation when people are still asleep.
If they're snooping, they deserve everything they get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I told my daughter, I said, I'm going to embarrass you one day. I said, if something ever happens to me or your daddy, I said, we're just going to put some whips and chains and stuff, line them around the house. So when people come to pay their respects, they're like, oh, what's this?
Although just saying, they're like, Mom's is really freaky. I didn't know. They hold up the handcuffs like, oh my gosh, look at this.
Yep. All right, Mona. So Barry's going to join us tomorrow.
Okay. Did you?
I don't have the link yet for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'll send it after here. Are you going to send it to him?
No, you can send it to him. You have his email.
I do?
Didn't he email you, or did he just message you?
I don't know. I didn't get anything yet.
No, he just ask you about something? Didn't he email you or something the other day about something about YouTube?
Oh, yeah, but I don't keep that. I delete everything.
Oh, well, Barry.
I don't just archive it. I go into the trash and empty the whole thing. And then if something goes up again, I delete it again.
Barry, if you're still there, email me or Mona, and we'll make sure you get the link for tomorrow.
I have 26,000.
The chat.
I have 26,000 unread emails.
Oh,
I have over 900.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, mine's 0.
Mine is 0 too. Everything.
I can't handle that.
Mine is either read or is put in the trash. I mean, yeah.
I have several emails.
We have work
one
to do.
for people I like, one for the spammers, and then the other one for, okay, I'll get to you later.
No, I have to clear it. If I don't clear it, it's generally a weekend, when you don't check your emails all the time. Mm-hmm. But I try to respond.
As long as it says amateurs, I have 54,000.
It kind of just one day I cleared it years ago because after I was done with my ex-wife and court and stuff, I cleared it because it was all just emails from the courts and stuff. I cleared it, and so I haven't cleared it in a few years.
So let me tell you, tech is getting so good that some of the spam that you're not opening, but you're leaving on your emails, especially on your phones and your computers that have that has personal information, they have viruses in them, and so you should
delete all
be
that.
so you should be clearing things quite constantly. Just
Oh, I have 0 spam.
And then
Yeah.
I block people too. If you
You
send
should
me too many emails, you're blocked. Not a person, but like a.
You should be clearing them. You shouldn't be storing them. And if you want to save the records, you just need to transfer it to a flash drive. But you shouldn't keep it on your. That's not
I'm
how.
not saving
I
nothing.
get rid
I've
of
got one
them.
foot in the grave. I got enough stuff to save.
I will tell you, anything that says I've won a contest or check out your Amazon, blah blah blah, I erase that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or your buddy friend. I keep getting those buddy friend emails.
No,
I love you. I just want to meet you. Send me $600,000 in either Bitcoin or go get me a gift card. Or then you really be desperate. I just don't understand.
I've actually been to some of these places, so I just picture a dude in an office. I just picture a dude in an office somewhere in some undisclosed country, just like, let's see how many people I can dupe into thinking my name is Shirley.
Sheila says she's about to be gummy stressed. I thought the gummies were supposed to relax you.
Are you talking about
That's what I thought.
the ones with THC in them?
I don't know. She just said gummies. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Some of those are so strong. If your couch needs handlebars, do not take a gummy. If you're sitting on the couch like this, like, oh, and you feel like you're moving, but you're not, then that's some personal experience. Some of that stuff is too powerful. And if it's called Chex Mix, be careful. I had some THC Chex Mix. Oh, man, it was too good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had an existential crisis.
I've only ever had brownies, and that was many, many years ago.
Oh, Sheila, you have to see what Sheila said.
Gonna have to take one because I'm stressed. Because my emails are in. I know I don't need any. That is true. I don't need any new stress. I was like, oh no. My first thought was, oh no. I've been so good my whole life without getting a virus. I have one.
If you ever get one, I'm just extra careful. I actually had one that was infected at work, and it was one of those what do you call it? Those hostage viruses, those
Trojans.
It was the one that locks your whole company's computer system down.
Wow.
And it starts with one person opening an email, and then you have a chain reaction, and every computer just blue screens.
Oh, that stinks.
So
ransomware.
Yeah, ransomware, and I mean everything. And I was working in IT, and there is nothing like having your whole system implode on you.
I used to get calls from people saying, oh, they had my cousin's name. They'd say, oh, so and so is in jail, and I would always be like, ha ha ha. One time, I'm not kidding you, I got rid of my landline 2 or 3 years ago. I get a call, and they're like, we have William in a Mexican prison. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play with you. I'm like a cat with a mouse. Like, I'm gonna play with you on this one. I said, really?
Hi, Aisha.
Really? And they're like, yes.
Hi, Aisha.
And I told them, I was like, keep them. Because you have that moment of like, am I in a Mexican prison? I was sitting in my house. But people pray on my mom all the time because she's a senior citizen all the time. She came to me with one of those stupid Amazon emails. She's like, what's wrong with my Amazon? I said, nothing. You need to stop reading these emails. Don't even open them.
That's really sad that they take advantage of the seniors that way, because you know a lot of them they're living.
She just called William Senior.
Night, Zaza.
Night. Good night, friend.
Well, I'm more senior than senior.
I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Everybody, bye. It's past time. Thanks for coming, William and Jess. And
Had a great
forget
time.
their links are at the top of the chat. And don't forget to check out Deb and Lisa too.
Bye. Bye,
Bye, everyone.
It's been
Yeah.
fun. Bye.